Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the replay. My name is Bobby. Hang on a second, sorry. Okay, good. Now we're set. Hi, welcome to the replay. I'm Bobby. I'm the host of this group, The Daily. This is Daily Fuel. The group is The Spiritual Artist. So, how you doing? I'm crazy. It's Saturday, and if you're watching in the replay, just let me know that you're here. You can write a hashtag of some kind. Hashtag replay, hashtag replay person, hashtag replayer. Make one up. They're fun. So go ahead and do that. And if you're joining me live, like Mikey, then you can start commenting now. That would be great. If you're new to Daily Fuel, what's going to happen is I have my spiel. I'm going to go through it, and then I'm going to come back to the comments, and I'll read them. But you guys can be commenting the whole time I'm talking. I like that. Let me turn up the volume here so I can hear the clicks for when the comments come through. I like that. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave like yesterday. Yeah, hang on. Sorry about that. So, yeah, when you guys comment, it makes a little click sound. I like hearing it. I didn't hear that one. Anyway, Mikey says, "Holy Saturday, Batman. Got my wine tonight, too. Happy Easter." Hey, there you go. Robin is giving me flowers. Thank you, Robin. Ray says, "The unknown," and Crimson is here. Hello. Hello. How are you? And see now, Robin, it says Robin Murray is watching. I don't know if you can see that. No. You know what? You can't because I don't have automatic focus on. I have to hold it here, but now it's really small. Sorry about that. I forgot. If I put the automatic focus on, it looks for my face the whole time. It's annoying. So I leave it on manual, and I don't go far away or too close to the camera. Anyway, we're waiting, says Ray. Okay, let's get started then. Let's get started. All right, the unknown. Let's go. The unknown. I just said it. I said it before I shook my hands. I don't usually do that. Okay, so you've heard me talk about Dr. Joe Dispenza quite a bit. He talks about the familiar past and the predictable future. So what that means is when things happen in life, when there's an event and we react to it, or when there's something we have to work on, normally what we do is we have these programs in our heads, or if you're old enough, you might say we have tapes playing in our heads that are either looking at the predictable past. I'm sorry, the familiar past, things that we've already gone through, things that we already understand, and comparing it to the past and saying, this is like that time that happened, and so now I can predict what the future might be like because the last time this happened, that thing happened, right? So it's like we make up worst case scenarios, or we just kind of think we understand where things are going to go, how things are going to play out based on our past experiences and our ability to sort of predict the future based on our past experiences. However, doing that's not creation. That's sort of trying to figure out the everything that I want and how the universe is going to deliver it to us. But that's not creation. So remember, the universe wants to surprise and delight us, but it can't surprise and delight us if we are planning all the plays, if we're trying to figure everything out ahead of time and tell it what to do. So how do we get okay with the unknown part? So the unknown is that present moment. It's that part where creation happens. So as Dr. Joe explains it, he's like, when you're in your past or you're in your future, basically you're trying to figure things out as your 3D version of you. But when you're in the present moment and you're just kind of letting go of all of those hows and all of those when is it going to happen, then what happens is you're just in the present moment and you're allowing for the unknown. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen next. I just know what I want. I just know my vision for the life that I want. But I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. And how do we get okay with that? Because sometimes we're not okay with that. Sometimes, especially if there's a thing happening where now suddenly there's an emergency or whatever, and the worst case scenarios are just running through your brain. That's us trying to figure out how to fix this, how to make it better, how to get through this. And there is no creative energy in that, because we're taking all the energy from the universe and saying, no, it's mine. I'm going to figure out me as this little meat suit person. So how do we get okay with being in the unknown and allowing the energy to create for us? How do we do that? So I have 3 ways. One is something I talk about all the time. We have to do our energy work. So this is why I do what I do. For me, energy work means meditating every day, writing on my whiteboards, figuring things out in terms of what I want, not figuring things out in terms of how to make it happen or when I can make it happen. Now, again, we're familiar with the past and we can kind of predict the future, but by doing our energy work, we're putting all of that aside and just allowing myself, I'll just talk about me, allowing myself to be in the present moment. When I'm meditating, I'm just focusing on this present moment. And here's the thing that I do when I meditate. I don't really talk about this much. So what do I mean by being in the present moment? Well, it's easy to close your eyes and meditate and put music on or sit on your couch or your bed or whatever. And, we like, or something. Whatever you do, I don't do that. But I sit in the dark and I have my headphones on, I listen to music, and I'll just sort of chill. But your brain can still go 1,000,000 miles an hour. You can still be thinking about things, or you could just fall asleep. Falling asleep's not that bad. Letting your brain go 1,000,000 miles an hour thinking about things is not meditating. Now you're just sitting in a quiet, dark room thinking about things. What I do is I try to move myself into that unknown space. And the way that I do that is I focus on parts of my body. When I was a kid, I used to have this thing. It was weird, and I never really understood it. But I used to have this thing where I would notice my tongue in my mouth. I would just notice that it was there. And not only did I notice that it was there, and I was completely aware of its presence, but sometimes what would happen is I would notice that it was there, and it would feel like it was the size of a mountain. Like it was just gigantic. And I could just kind of, I can't explain it any more than that. It's just like I kind of knew it was there, but it was more than what it was. Obviously, it's my tongue. It's just this little tiny thing right in my mouth. But I could feel the energy of it and feel its presence. And I don't know why my tongue, or, instead of a finger or something like that. But then I learned how to do that with other parts of my body and start to feel the scope of the real me. And that's what it was. It was that I was tapping into the energy of my higher self by thinking about my tongue as a kid. And that's why my tongue felt like I'm the size of a mountain, because my higher self is gigantic. It's huge. It's the whole universe. And so are you, by the way, not just me. But, right, so I was able to kind of tap into that as a kid. And then as an adult, I realized, that thing that I did was probably getting into the unknown. I think that's what it was. And so I would practice it now as an adult on purpose. And so I'll kind of now meditate, and I'll sort of try to get that same feeling in my arms and my hands, not so much in my tongue, but just sort of like I try to feel it in my body until I can feel this buzzing through my body. And that's when I know I'm no longer trying to figure out, like, how am I going to fix that thing? When's that stupid guy going to do that thing I need him to do? When is this going to happen? How's that going to happen? I don't think about that anymore. Now I'm just sort of like, whoa, I am like connected to the universe. I'm a spirit thing, right? And I can feel that. And that's when the work is happening. That's it. So that's why it's important to do this daily work, because if you could do it once and tap into it, it feels great. But then you go back to doing your regular, human thing every day, and just the fact that you did that one time doesn't really mean anything anymore. But if you do it all of the time, then what happens is you can do the next one. The next one, number 2, is to remind yourself that you're that. Because now I finished meditating, I'm like, whoa, that felt amazing. And by the way, that doesn't happen every time I meditate. Sometimes meditation, I can't get there. It's not every meditation that I have is this mystical experience where I am soaring through the universe. Sometimes they are, and that's nice. But sometimes it's just a quiet time to relax and chill my brain out, and that's okay too. But either way, because I have those experiences sometimes, I'm able to become more self-aware. And so number 2 is to remind myself to be that person all the time. So that sometimes when I'm having a moment and something happens and I go, oh my God, how am I going to fix this thing? When's that thing going to happen? I can go, wait a minute, that's not what I do. I'm not the guy who has to figure out how or when. I'm the guy who designs the what and allows the energy to flow through me to figure out how and when. But I'm not able to remind myself of that if I'm not doing the energy work every day. Because the energy work every day is what gives me the difference. What helps me to see the difference between being really smart about it and just flailing around in 3D land. So that when I feel like I'm flailing around in 3D land, I can remember now, oh, I like this better. Well, how do I get back to that? Well, just stop worrying about this thing. Oh, okay. I know it's easier said than done to stop worrying about a thing. But worry is when we're thinking of the future, like, how am I going to do that? Blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes you're thinking about the past, and there could even just be regret. But either way, you're not in creation mode. So if you're doing your daily work, now you can be self-aware of what it feels like to be in creation mode, so that when you aren't, you can remind yourself, hey, get back into that. And then you can do it after a while. You could do it without even meditating. You could just remember to chill out, take a deep breath, and feel that energy flow through you. You can start to pay attention and recognize the difference, in other words. And then number 3 is to just create. We were talking about this already for the past couple of days, is just do the work. Just create. I have this tendency to try to figure everything out before I'll even pick up a pen and start writing something. But to me, it's like what I'm doing there is I'm trying to figure out the how and the when in my head before I think about the what. But when you just start creating, when you just let yourself lean into the project, lean into your art, lean into your life a little bit, and go with it, then the hows and the whens start showing up. And I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to take a break, a breath, and I'm going to have a sip of water today. So I had this all set up, right, to do the live. And then my son needed to ride home, so I had to run out and get him. And then I got back here just about a minute before the live was supposed to start. So, okay, let's get to the comments. I don't know why I told you that. That's not really relevant to anything except that it happened. Mikey and Ray, and just know something is happening. Who's that? Somebody that I cannot see. Karina Gray. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. You're brand new to the group. Well, welcome to Daily Fuel. How do you say your name? Karina? I'm going to say Karina unless you tell me that's wrong. But by the way, there's a link at the top of this post for Ecamm something or other. That's a software that I use. If you click on that and give Ecamm permission, then what happens is I can see you on my screen. Right now, you're just an anonymous gray circle, so I don't know who that is. But that's why I have my phone open, so that when I see the anonymous gray circle, I can look at my phone and I can say, oh, that's Karina, or whoever it is, because it's somebody different every day. So, but hey, nice to see you. Welcome to Daily Fuel, and welcome to the group. Mikey says, the unknown is the only inevitable. Okay, yeah. Robin. Here's an essay. Robin says, I think that in art we sometimes have to fight the urge to continue creating in the familiar, afraid of what might happen when we try something new. Sometimes the urge to continue creating in the familiar. Yeah. Afraid of what might happen when we try something new, but the trick is not to fear it, but to look at working in a different way as exciting and full of possibilities. Then it would become easier. Yeah, I like that. And I want to tie that to what Mikey just said, that the unknown is the only inevitable. So it is inevitable, I think, that we have to get into the unknown. And by the way, I think that we always do, because we're always creating our life, right? But I think that if we're not doing this work, as I'm talking about here today, the energy work every day, and then learning and self-awareness to remind ourselves to get back into it. If we're not doing that, then we kind of happen upon it by accident. You know, like sometimes you just might push yourself to the edge so much that you just have to go take a nap. You just have to fall in front of the television or a book and veg out and read or zone out and watch a movie or something like that. And now you're turning your brain off, and now the unknown can get into the work. So it is inevitable, as Mikey said. I like that. I didn't have a thing to say for it when I read it, but now I do. So I'm saying it. But yeah, if we could just sort of and then trying something new, it can be scary, right? Trying something new can be scary because the unknown is scary. We're afraid of the dark. It's like this fear that we have. We're afraid of the dark. We're afraid of the unknown. We're stranger danger, right? And like everything is supposed to be dangerous unless it's familiar and we know it and we like it. And the devil we know is better than the devil that we don't, right? Is an expression that people say for some reason. It's not true because then you're just stuck with something that you know is terrible, instead of taking a chance on something that could be great. Except here's what we know, is that you're not taking a chance. You're leaning into the power of the universe, the power of your higher self. It's only going to be good. So there's no chances to be taken. And then, who's this now? The unknown is the only unknown. It says Anna is watching. Hi, Anna, if you're still here. Nice to see. Oh, and Anna, here's Anna. Oh, so Anna didn't click the thing either. Anna says, we must trust the universe. Happy Easter, Bobby, and everyone. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, we must. We must. You know what? I like that, because inevitable and we must. We don't have a choice, because eventually we do trust it. Eventually we just go, oh my God, I'm too exhausted, and we give up. We do. We always do. You know what that feels like when finally you just give up and things always kind of work out. You know how I know that? Because we're all still alive. Nothing has killed any of us yet, so we're still good. You know. So nice to see you, Anna. Robin has some wine there. Hi, Anna, and glad you're watching. Mikey, I can't see what that thing is, Mikey. Sorry, it's too small. Hi, dear Robin. That's probably Anna saying hi back. Hey there, midnight greetings from Athens. Oh, another anonymous person. Who's that? Vevan. Vevan, is that how you say your name? Hey, Vevan, how are you? Nice to see you. Wow, lots of new faces today. This is great. I really love when there's new people on Daily Fuel or people that aren't around a lot. Not that I don't like the guys who are here every day, Robin and Mikey and Ray and you guys. I love you guys. But when there's new people, that's cool. It makes me happy that I'm reaching more and more people. So it's nice to see you, Vivian. Am I saying your name right? Sorry if I'm not. Ray says the world is checking in to see the dance. Always stay present, says Mikey. Yes. Robin says, yeah, it's hard to keep doing the new habits. Easy to fall back sometimes. Have to practice remembering when new habits feel good and are productive so as to learn to develop the good habits. My advice to others that I need to remember myself. Yeah, so have to practice remembering when new habits feel good and are productive so as to learn to develop the good habits. Yeah, so if you're doing, I think that you're talking about what I was saying before, that if we're doing this, practicing our energy work every day, we can feel what it feels like to feel good. And then when we're not doing the energy work, it's like I might meditate for half an hour to an hour a day, but the rest of the day I'm not meditating. I'm out and about doing, human things. But I've been doing it so long now that when I am out and about doing regular stuff, I keep that energy mindset with me so that if something were to happen that I didn't like, I'm not going to freak out and react and overreact or try to fix it in the moment or try to fix it with just 3D energy. I'm going to remember, oh, wait a minute, I can tap into the good stuff and let that go to work for me. It's hard to remember that sometimes, especially when you have a world around you screaming that you have to be worried about this or you have to be nervous about that. It's difficult to know where to land on certain things. Sorry that I see more anonymous things. I just need to see who they are. Vivian says, I was just writing regarding joy and happiness. You were just writing about that? Cool. You're saying it correct, Vivian. Good, excellent. Wait, is that? Nope, that's Karina. Karina, you're all anonymous, and it's confusing when everyone's anonymous. Sorry, I'm saying Karina correctly. I'm assuming I'm saying Vivian correctly, but you may correct me if I'm not. I don't like saying people's names wrong. It's a thing. I don't like when people say my name wrong. You'd be surprised how many people can get Bobby wrong. It's you would just be surprised. But you know what it is? Not that they don't know how to say Bobby, but they'll call me Bob or they'll call me Rob. Oh my God, please don't call me Rob or any variation of Rob and Robbie. That's not my name. It's to people like we're all named Robert, right? And that's fine. I'll answer to Robert because it's on my driver's license and my utility bills and the IRS stuff. But I'm Bobby. So I'm not really Bob. Bob is my dad. But Rob is almost like a completely different name. I don't know why. It's kind of like the difference between Will and Bill. I would assume that people named Will don't want to be called Bill. I would assume so. I don't know. Anyway, but ask anyone named Rob or Bob if they want to be called the other, and they'll probably like give you dagger eyes. So, Robin says, lean into the project, lean into your life. I like that. Yeah. I that's an expression that I use. I don't know if I heard it from somebody. I don't know where I got it, but I like to say lean into it, right? I don't mean dive into it, and I don't mean stick your toe in. I do mean lean into it and put your weight and your energy into it. But you don't have to like rush into it like a lunatic, you know? Lean into it. And you know what it is? Because leaning requires trust. When you're leaning, what happens? You're no longer balancing, right? If I'm leaning, I'm not balanced. You have to trust that the universe is going to be there to catch you. You have to trust that. So lean into it and trust that the thing is there. I like to think of if you've ever seen the Indiana Jones movies, where he the third one, where he's going through the maze of trials and he has to step off the ledge and trust that the canyon will catch him, and he does, and his foot lands on a thing, and it turns out that there's a bridge, but you can't see it from where you're standing. You can only see it from a different perspective. So yeah, if you didn't see the movie, you don't know what I'm talking about. You are correct saying it. Good. That's Karina. Crimson, I can see you there. I have noticed that my energy was down. Breath. I have noticed that my energy was down because I had not been able to paint and really was just stuck complaining. But I was reminded that I'm a creator and that I can figure it out. And so I did. Good. My energy has been boosted by using a new medium to create. Oh, that's cool. So you do like flip the script a little bit. You tried a new medium, maybe a paint or a new canvas style or whatever new thing you did. But I like that. You know what? I'm going to add to that because there's a thing flying around my face. So I'm making a graphic novel, I make music, and I'm making my video series, right? I love doing these things. However, I don't love doing them nonstop for the rest of my life. At some point, I get really bored with a thing, and I'm like, I have to do something else. So it's like I was working on the graphic novel, but I kind of paused it, not because I don't want to do it anymore, but because eventually I kind of get burned out doing the same thing. So I switch it up and I switch to a different medium. I keep creating and I keep the energy flowing, and it all goes together. They're all part of one big thing, but I'm not always working on the same aspect of it. So I like that. So good for you for figuring that out. Robin says, yes. Just leave it there. I said something and you agree with me, and that's good. Robin says, yes, that's an interesting idea. I know you're going to explain it, but I still don't know what it is. That when we get stuck, sometimes walk away, veg out, or whatever. Right, that part. That when we get back to it, we are fresh. Absolutely. And new ideas then can begin to flow. Yes. So when we decide not to fear the unknown and we plunge forward. Cool. Yes, absolutely. You know what I'm talking about. It's like sometimes you're struggling so hard against the tide, trying to figure something out, that eventually it just wears you down so much that you go, I can't do this anymore. And you pass out. You need a break. You need a nap. You got to go for a walk. You got to do a thing. You just turn it off. It will happen. The universe will force you to turn it off, and you will. It's the inevitable. Mikey, it's the inevitable. Vevan, welcome. Mikey says, remember to remember. Yep. Oh, how much did I miss? Who's this? Another. Ty. Wow, everyone's coming out of the woodwork today. Hey, Ty, how are you doing? How much did you miss? Well, you missed the whole thing. And we're done. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye. Kidding. Well, we are pretty much done, actually, though, Ty. Sorry. Well, you can catch the replay if you want to. Mikey, I was baptized Robert. Really? The permutations thereof are why I changed it. Yeah, there are a lot of permutations of that name. It's an interesting name. I like my name, but I don't like all the versions of it. Mic drop. I did that once in my old group. Somebody joined and commented, "Hi, I'm here." Just as I was wrapping it up, and I said, "Hey, nice to see you." Well, we're done, and I clicked the button and I ended it. It was funny, but anyway. So that's that, guys. We are kind of done. Thanks for hanging out with me. As always, I appreciate it. I'm sorry, Ty, that you missed it, but you're here now. And Vivan and Karina and Anna, it was great to see you here today. Thank you for that. Seeing if I missed anybody. I'll catch the replay for sure. That's Ty. And Ray says, I have to stop every once in a while when doing a portrait. Sometimes the colors all look the same. And then into the unknown to relax. Cool. Yeah, that can happen, right? You could just I don't know if you literally mean the colors look the same, but sometimes things just blend together, or the ideas. Sometimes I feel like I might just be like forcing the process to create something, and then I feel like I'm just creating something derivative, and I'm just like, I'm not even creating anything. I'm just redoing this other thing that I did. And then a funny thing will happen sometimes. I'll get really down on it. I'll be like, oh my God, I stink at this. I just got to stop. I got to take a break. I got to go away. I got to veg out. And when I come back to it, it was actually good. It's just, it wasn't that good stuff wasn't coming out of me. It's that I wasn't able to see the good I was doing. It's weird how that happens sometimes. That you reminded me of that. Thanks. All right, Ray, you can have the booby prize today, and we are going to leave now. So I thank you for hanging out with me, as always. And tomorrow's Sunday, so I will not be doing a Daily Fuel, but I will be doing something. And I'll see you guys. Oh, Robin swooped in and stole the booby prize. I think she means when you keep at it over and over, it all looks the same. It's not really, but yeah, that's exactly it. Yep. All right, guys. You know what, Ray and Robin, since you're here like every day, you guys can share the booby prize today. I appreciate you very, very much. And have a great night, everybody. I will see you Monday for the next Daily Fuel. We'll do some more next week. Bye-bye. Happy Easter if you celebrate it. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.